My fiancée called 911. My lover stopped breathing. She didn't know I was the operator on the line. I said, ambulance dispatched. Then I also dispatched a moving truck to our house. By the time she got home, I had her things packed. And then, original post. 29 male, I'm a 911 dispatcher. Been doing it for 6 years. I hear everything in this job. Overdoses, heart attacks, domestic violence, car accidents. You learn to stay calm, get the info, send help. That's the job. Last Tuesday, 2:14 p.m., middle of my shift. Call comes through. 911, what's your emergency? Oh God, he's not breathing. I think he's having a heart attack or something. I recognized the voice instantly. My fiancée. But she didn't recognize mine. We sound different on the line, plus she was panicking. Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. What's your location? She gave an address I didn't know. Some apartment across town. Who's not breathing, ma'am? My friend. He just collapsed. Please hurry. Professional mode stayed on. Had to. Is he conscious? Is he breathing at all? No, I don't know. His chest isn't moving. I'm dispatching an ambulance now. Stay on the line with me. Is he on his back? Yes. Oh God, this can't be happening. I walked her through basic CPR while units were already around. Kept my voice steady, clinical, did my job. But my brain was going a million miles an hour. She was supposed to be at work. She told me this morning she had a full day of meetings at the office. She's a marketing coordinator. What friend was this? Why was she at some random apartment? The medics confirmed arrival. Ma'am, help has arrived. They'll take over now. Thank you so much. She hung up. I sat there for maybe 10 seconds. Then I flagged my supervisor. I need to take an early lunch. Family emergency. He looked at me. We'd worked together for 4 years. He knew something was wrong. You good? We'll be. Just need an hour. He nodded. Take 2 if you need it. I clocked out, got in my car, drove home to our apartment, the one we'd been sharing for 2 years, the one where we planned our wedding that was supposed to happen in 8 months. Called my buddy who owns a moving company. I need a favor, like right now. What's up? Relationship emergency. Need to pack someone's stuff fast. Say no more. I can have a guy there in 45 minutes. I started in the bedroom. Her clothes, packed into suitcases I pulled from the closet. Her toiletries from the bathroom into boxes. Her books, her decorations, her laptop, everything that was clearly hers. The moving guy showed up. His name's irrelevant, but he's saved my rear on emergency calls before. He took one look at my face and said, "Where am I taking you?" "Storage unit. I'll text you the address." I'd rented one online while packing. $89 for the first month, worth every penny. By 4:30 p.m., her stuff was gone. The apartment looked different. Emptier, but cleaner somehow. I went back to work for my evening shift. Finished at 11 p.m. She got home at 11:47 p.m. I was sitting on the couch, waiting. She walked in, saw me, smiled. "Hey babe, sorry I'm late. Work dinner ran long." "That's funny," I said, "because you called 911 at 2:14 this afternoon from an apartment I've never heard of, reporting that your friend wasn't breathing." Her face went white, like actually white. What? I was your dispatcher, small world, huh? She just stood there, frozen. "He okay, by the way? Your friend?" The medics got there pretty fast. "That wasn't, I can explain." "Cool. While you do that, let me explain something. Your stuff's in a storage unit. Unit 247 at the facility on Morrison Street. Here's the key." I tossed it on the coffee table. "First month's paid. After that, you're on your own. You can't just..." "I can. I did. This is my apartment. My name on the lease. We moved in 2 years ago. Where am I supposed to go?" "Not my problem anymore. Maybe your friend's place?" "Oh wait, he might still be in the hospital." She tried tears next. "Please, can we just talk about this?" "We are talking. I'm talking. I'm telling you we're done. The engagement's off." I pulled the ring off. $3,200 ring I'd saved 8 months for. Put it in my pocket. "I'll see about returning this. You need to leave. It's almost midnight. Then you better start making calls." She stood there for another minute, then grabbed her purse and left. Slammed the door so hard the neighbor knocked to ask if everything was okay. I told him we were fine. Just a breakup. He nodded sympathetically and went back to his place. That was 3 days ago. My phone's been blowing up. Her mom, her sister, her friends, all saying I overreacted, that I'm cruel, that I didn't give her a chance to explain. Here's the thing though. She called 911 because her affair partner had a medical emergency. She wasn't calling to confess. She wasn't calling to end it. She called because she had to, and I just happened to be the one who answered. So no, I don't think I overreacted. Update 1 week later. The fallout's been interesting, and by interesting I mean exhausting. First, the storage unit. She went to get her stuff the next day. Apparently called her mom crying about how I threw her out with nothing. Her mom called me. That conversation went well. Mom, how dare you kick my daughter out in the middle of the night? I gave her a key to her belongings and told her to leave. It was 11:47 p.m., hardly midnight. She could have been in danger. From what? Me sitting on my couch? I was the one who found out she's been cheating. Pretty sure I'm the one who was in danger of wasting more time on a liar. You don't understand. He was just a friend from college. They were studying. Ma'am, she called 911 because he stopped breathing. That's not studying. That's something else entirely. Her mom, you always were cold. She told me you never showed emotion. Me, I'm a 911 dispatcher. I'm trained not to panic. But sure, let's call that cold. Click. She hung up, blocked her number. Then came the mutual friends. We have maybe 6 couples we hung out with regularly. She got to 3 of them first. Spun some story about me being controlling and jealous. That the friend really was just a friend who had a medical emergency, and I used my position to snoop on her. The other 3 called me directly. Told them the truth. They believed me, especially after I explained that she lied about where she was that day. Hard to explain away calling 911 from some random apartment when you're supposed to be in meetings. Work was the complicated part. My supervisor pulled me aside on my next shift. So, I got a complaint filed. Let me guess. Your ex-fiancée's lawyer sent a letter, claims you violated HIPAA or something by accessing her 911 call inappropriately. I actually laughed. I didn't access anything. I took the call. Random assignment. She called 911. I answered. It's literally my job. I know that. Legal knows that, but they have to investigate anyway. You're not in trouble. It's just procedure. How long? Week, maybe 2. You're on desk duty until then. No calls, just admin work. That's fine. The investigation took 11 days. They pulled the call logs, the recordings, everything. Confirmed I did nothing wrong. Handled the call professionally, dispatched appropriate units, followed every protocol. The complaint was dismissed. But here's where it gets wild. The guy, the friend. Turns out he's fine. Heart palpitations, not a heart attack. Panic attack brought on by, and I'm not making this up, guilt about the affair. His wife found texts on his phone 2 days later. His wife called me. Yeah, that happened. Or is this my name? Speaking. My husband was sleeping with your fiancée. I just found out. I'm filing for divorce. I'm sorry you're going through this. I just found out last week myself. Did you know they'd been together for 6 months? 6 months. No, I didn't. He told me everything. How they met at some conference, how she pursued him, how they'd meet at his friend's apartment twice a week when I thought he was working late. We talked for about 20 minutes. She was angrier than I was, honestly. She'd been married to this guy for 12 years. They have 2 kids. After we hung up, I just sat there. 6 months, half a year. Wedding planning, engagement photos, family dinners, all while she was seeing someone else. My ex tried to come back to the apartment twice. First time was to get some things she forgot. I told her to make a list, I'd leave them outside. She made the list. I left 3 boxes by the dumpster, texted her they were there. She picked them up. Second time was to talk. She showed up at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. I didn't let her in. Her, we need to talk about this like adults. Me, nothing to talk about. Her, you won't even listen to my side? Your side is you were sleeping with a married man for 6 months while planning our wedding. What else is there? It wasn't like that. It just happened. For 6 months, it just kept happening, twice a week. Or you're being unreasonable. I'm being single. There's a difference. You need to leave. I love you. I made a mistake. You made a choice, repeatedly, for 6 months. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. Or please, we can go to counseling. We can work through this. Me, no thanks. I'm good. I closed the door. She stood outside yelling for maybe 5 minutes, then left. Her sister texted me later, said I was being cruel and heartless, that everyone makes mistakes, that I should forgive her. I blocked the sister too. The ring situation is messy. The jeweler has a no-return policy after 90 days. I bought it 9 months ago, but they offered to let me trade it for credit. Took a $1,400 loss on the exchange. Bought my dad a nice watch for his birthday instead. At least someone should get something good out of this. The apartment lease is in my name only. She never got added officially. We kept saying we'd do it, but never did. That turned out to be lucky. She can't claim any right to stay. But she's trying to claim she paid half the rent for 2 years and deserves compensation. Her new story is I'm stealing her share. Except we had an arrangement. I paid rent, she paid utilities and groceries. Worked out roughly equal. I have no interest in arguing about it, so I told her to sue me if she wants. She won't. My lease is up in 3 months. I'm not renewing. Too many windows. Looking at studio apartments closer to work. Fresh start. People keep asking if I'm okay. Honestly, yeah, I'm weirdly okay. Hurt? Sure. Angry? Sometimes. But mostly I feel relieved. Found out before the wedding, before we bought a house, before kids. Could have been so much worse. Update 2, 3 weeks later. Things escalated in ways I didn't expect. Also ways I very much expected. The guy's wife filed for divorce. Fast. She's not messing around. Went straight for full custody of their kids, citing adultery and emotional abandonment. Her lawyer is apparently brutal. The guy's entire life is imploding. I know this because my ex showed up at my workplace during my shift. She got stopped at security, thank God for badge access, but she caused enough of a scene that my supervisor had to come get me. Supervisor, she's in the lobby, says she needs to talk to you. I can have security escort her out if you want. Give me 5 minutes. Went down. She was pacing, makeup smudged, hair a mess. You told his wife? No, I didn't. Then how did she find out? Probably the same way I did. You're not as sneaky as you think. His life is ruined. He's losing everything. And? You don't care? He has kids. Should have thought about that before sleeping with an engaged woman. Twice a week, for 6 months. You're heartless. You keep saying that. Doesn't make it true. I didn't ruin his life. You two did that yourselves. I lost my job because of you. That stopped me. What? I got fired. Someone told HR about the affair. They said it reflected poorly on the company. I didn't tell your HR anything. Then who did? Maybe his wife. Maybe someone who knows you both. Maybe karma's real. I don't know, and I don't care. I have nothing now. No job, no place to live, no fiancé. You had all of that 3 weeks ago. You chose to risk it. Actions have consequences. Security was coming over. She saw them and left, but not before yelling that I'd regret this. Later found out what really happened with her job. She didn't get fired. She quit. Apparently the guy also worked at the company, different department. Once his wife filed for divorce and named my ex as the affair partner, people at work found out. The gossip was too much. She quit rather than face it. Her choice. Not my problem. But then came the threats. Text messages from unknown numbers. You'll pay for ruining her life. She loved you and you threw her away. Hope you can live with yourself. Blocked them all. But they kept coming. Different numbers. Her friends, I assume. Then my car got keyed. Came out after a shift. Someone had scratched cheater into the driver's side door. Deep scratches. Estimated repair, $800. Filed a police report. They can't prove it was her, but it's documented. My insurance covered most of it after the deductible. The officer, you think she did it? Her or someone she knows? Officer, want to pursue harassment charges? I mean, not yet, but I'm documenting everything. Smart. Keep records of all contact. If it escalates, come back. Around the same time, my landlord called. Someone reported a domestic disturbance at my apartment. Multiple complaints about yelling, fights, aggressive behavior. Landlord, I've got 3 complaints in 2 weeks. What's going on? I broke up with my fiancée 3 weeks ago. She's been showing up here trying to talk. I've told her to leave each time. There's been no violence, no threats from my end. The complaints say otherwise. Check the security cameras in the hallway. They'll show I'm telling the truth. He did. Cameras showed her showing up, me telling her to leave, her yelling, me closing the door. Nothing violent. Nothing aggressive from me. Okay, you're clear, but if she keeps coming back, I need you to get a restraining order. I can't have this disruption. Understood. Started looking for a new place seriously. Found a decent one-bedroom about 15 minutes from work. Cheaper rent than my current place. Shorter lease terms. Signed it last week. Move in next month. The restraining order conversation happened with a lawyer buddy. He said I probably had grounds, the showing up at my apartment multiple times, showing up at my work, the threatening texts, the property damage. But he also warned me, filing for one will make this explode. She'll get a lawyer. It'll cost you money. It might not even get approved. Are you sure you want to go that route? Not yet, but if she keeps pushing, yeah. Her mom tried one more time, left a voicemail because I blocked her number. You are ruining my daughter's life. She made one mistake and you're punishing her forever. She's staying with me now because she has nowhere to go. She's depressed. She's not eating. This is your fault. You need to forgive her and work this out. That's what adults do. I saved the voicemail. Didn't respond. The guy's wife and I talked once more. She wanted to compare notes, make sure our stories matched for her divorce proceedings. His lawyers trying to claim I drove him to it, that I was neglectful, that I didn't pay attention to his needs. Me, classic cheater excuse, right? I work full-time, raise 2 kids, manage the household, and apparently I didn't meet his needs. What needs? An ego boost from a younger woman? Pretty much. Thank you for being honest with me when I called. A lot of guys would have hung up. We're both victims here. Felt like the right thing to do. Good luck with everything. You too. On the positive side, work's been good. The investigation cleared me. I'm back on regular rotation. My coworkers have been supportive. Apparently word got around about what happened. A few of them went through similar situations. It helps to know I'm not alone. Started therapy. Not because I'm falling apart, but because processing this stuff with a professional seems smart. Therapist says I'm handling it well, all things considered. Says the lack of dramatic reaction is actually healthy. I assessed the situation, made decisions based on my boundaries, and stuck to them. The engagement photos are still on her social media. She hasn't taken them down. I untagged myself. Haven't checked her pages since. 3 more weeks until I move. Then new apartment, new start, new chapter. She can keep the drama. I'm done with it. Final update, 2 months later. Final update because people keep DMing asking how it ended. Moved into the new place 6 weeks ago. It's smaller, but it's mine. Nobody else's stuff. Nobody else's memories. Just me and my furniture and my life. The harassment stopped after about a month. The texts, the showing up, all of it. I think her mom finally convinced her to move on. Or maybe she found someone else. Don't know. Don't care. The restraining order never happened. Didn't need it. She disappeared from my life as quickly as she'd inserted herself into it. Found out through mutual friends what happened to her. She moved back in with her parents. Got a new job at a smaller company. Less pay, fewer benefits. Still claims she's the victim in all this. Still tells people I abandoned her over nothing. The guy got divorced. His ex-wife got primary custody. He gets supervised visitation because the court found his affair impacted his judgment regarding the kids' well-being. He's paying substantial child support and alimony. His ex-wife and I don't talk anymore. No need to. We both moved on. The mutual friend situation resolved itself. The 3 couples who believed her side stopped inviting me to things. That's fine. The other 3 doubled down on our friendship. Quality over quantity. Financially, I came out okay. Lost $1,400 on the ring exchange. Spent $800 on car repairs. But I didn't lose a house, retirement funds, or years of marriage. Could have been so much worse. Work's been steady. I'm good at my job. The whole situation actually made me better at it. I have even more empathy now for people calling in during their worst moments. Dating? Not yet. Not ready. Maybe next year. Maybe longer. I'm okay with being alone right now. The apartment's quiet. I work. I come home. I cook dinner. I watch TV. I sleep. Some people would call it boring. I call it peaceful. My supervisor checked in on me last week. You doing all right? Yeah, I'm good. You seem different. Lighter, maybe. Probably because I am. And I am. That's the weird part. I thought I'd be devastated. Broken. Instead, I feel free. The therapy helped. The therapist pointed out that I never really processed red flags during the relationship. The times she was secretive with her phone, the work events that ran late, the way she'd pick fights before going out with friends. Looking back, the signs were there. I just didn't want to see them. But that 911 call forced me to see everything. Crystal clear. No ambiguity, no gaslighting, just her voice, panicking about another man. Sometimes I wonder if I should have tried to work it out. Gave her a chance to explain. Gone to counseling. Then I remember, 6 months, twice a week, while planning a wedding, and I know I made the right call. My dad asked me last weekend if I hated her. No, not even a little. I'm disappointed. Angry sometimes. But hate? That takes too much energy. Good. Hate would mean she still has power over you. He's right. She doesn't have power over me anymore. The engagement's over. The relationship's over. The drama's over. What's left? My job, my apartment, my life, my future. And honestly, that's enough. To anyone going through something similar, trust your gut. Document everything. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking you're overreacting. You know what your boundaries are. You know what you can accept. I couldn't accept being lied to for 6 months. I couldn't accept her risking my health. Who knows if either of them were being safe. I couldn't accept building a marriage on that foundation. So I didn't. I packed her stuff. I ended it. I moved on. Was it perfect? No. Was it messy? Yeah, but it was my decision, made on my terms, protecting my future. That's all you can really do.